Okay, so now let's have some panel detail modeling. I have set up my provided reference as an image plane, and I have also placed it lower or under the grid so that it doesn't get in our way when we're modeling. And then from here, let us start. So for example, I'll choose one. For example, I'll choose this, just for an example. I'll go to plane. So now the plane is created. I'll just go here and slightly position the plane aligned to the reference. And then let's try. I can enlarge by pressing plus the gizmo so I can center it properly. For example, because I think this reference was manually drawn. Next is, I can resize that by pressing minus. And then now I'll just go to my channel box, and in the inputs, I'll set these segments to 1. We only need that amount of segments. And then I'll just make it see-through, or my object is in see-through mode. Undo, Control Z. And then from here, I'll start adjusting the size fitting the reference, but I will only fit 1/4 of it because it is, as you can see, they have symmetries or similarities, so that means I can just duplicate special this one. So from here, I can now start to work. You can do several procedures with this. For example, if you still remember your modeling procedure in your base mesh polygon, you can do something like this. Oops, sorry. I can select these edges and then I can just connect them and then press Enter W. I can drag it here for that corner. And then I can do the same here, the horizontals. I'll just do another connect, enter, then W for the move tool, and there it is. Now I can just go to my vertices and drag that vertex and have that created. On to the next one is the top one, that top detail there. I can do another connect. I can choose W, enter, and then W, so that I can move the vertex here, for example, and then I can just adjust the slide here. There. So now I have that detail done, right? Okay, so now that I have that done, I can select these, for example, and I can delete them. And then let's say from here, what I will do next is I can select this edge or this edge, and then I can just choose a bridge. So now they are bridge. Enter W for the move tool. And then to create this corner, I can select these up to there, and then I can do a connect, enter W, switch to vertex selection, and now I have this corner. This corner I can align by using the scale tool, R, scale tool this along that direction, and then I'll just scale tool these vertices along the X direction, and now I am done with this, right? So now I have that detail there. So the next thing that I will do now is, of course, let's say I will need to subdivide this. So I will need to create that portion there. So one thing that you can do here is I can select these. I can press R, and then I can hold shift and scale within this green portion or green handle here. Shift click drag, and there it is. right? So now what I will do next is I'll just go to my vertex selection. Oops, sorry. W. And then I can just R, scale this together in, and then I can just move and then just drag them along here. And then I can do the same here. I can slide it actually here in the transform constraint. I can use edge slide. I can drag it along there. Let's say until here. I'll drag that until there. And then I can select these two and then move them along their edges. I can slide this. So now they're all together. I can turn off that if you're not moving it properly or not able to move it properly here. And then I can move this slightly there so that there's no pinching, for example. So now I have that for my detail. This I have a different plan, okay? But let's say I have this. Now to duplicate special or to do a duplicate special on this, and since it's going to be done at least 3 times, the thing that I will do is first I will position my gizmo where the duplicate special is reference. So that means if I do a duplicate special, it will start where the gizmo is. So I better position the gizmo properly. So I press D to activate the gizmo. This means I can move the gizmo. And then I'll switch to vertex or point or vertex snap. And then I'll just click here and drag it to the corner, because that's where a vertex is. And then I'll press D to deactivate. And then I'll just go to my vertex and turn it off. Vertex snap, turn off. And then while my object is selected, it's highlighted in green when object level selection is on, I'll go to my edit, duplicate special. I'll reset this just to be sure. And then I'll just set it now to instance negative on the X scale. Then I'll just press apply. There it is. While I have that duplicate selected, I'll type in here negative on the Z axis, press apply. Now it duplicates on that direction. That's the Z axis. And then I'll just once more negative on the X axis, that's the direction. So if I press negative and apply, that's where it will go, opposite. So I have these things now. So now that I have them, the next thing that I will do is I can edit mesh. I can mesh, combine them together. Then I can double click or select these vertices that I have here. They are 12, for example, but if I do an edit mesh and merge, it becomes 5. I'll do the same on the vertical. Excuse me. Edit mesh and merge. Enter. W for move. Edges selected, and then I will just control backspace this and even this. So excess edges have been removed. Now let's do some detailing here, for example. So before the detailing, I can do a backup. I'll hold shift, drag this back, and then this is going to be panel shape. It's going to be the panel shape, and this is going to be our design portion. So this is going to be our panel or rig or original. There, I can select the two of them, edit, delete all by type history. Now I can delete these, and then now I'll just hide, and then here. So now my backup is hidden. It's time now to 3Dify our work. So I can choose to 3Dify it this way. Let's say I'll go to my perspective, and I will choose to have an extrude amount of, let's say, 2, or that's too big, 0.5, 0.25, half of that will be fine. There it is. So double check, is it hollow underneath? I can now move this. I'll just move this to the side since I'll be just using this as a reference. So far it is solid underneath, it's not hollow, so we don't need to close it so far. Next, so now if I am to do something like some detailing information to it. So for example, I would like to have this portion, holding shift here, and then I will just have that, let's say, drag up, shift click drag, or scaling it inwards. For example, I'll just be adding some detail into it, and then I can press R, scaling it back inwards, and then I can press shift click drag down to extrude it negatively, and then R once more, just scaling it to an angle. So now I have added that detail. So now I'm starting to 3Dify my created shape. The next thing is, for example, here I would like this to be angled. So let's say these portions here, I'm just choosing or double clicking the edges, and then W for move and drag them down. So now it is slightly angled. And then I will switch to polygon selection or face selection. I will select these. These are amongst those obvious. There. So I can just simply, I can do a simple extrude here, or a simple bevel. So you can see, if I bevel it, it affects the other edges, so I won't do a bevel. So instead, oops, let's have this selected. Let's just have a simple extrude, 0.25 negative, so it goes down, 0.15, negative 0.05, negative 0.1, there. So there's my extrusion. And then let's say now on this sides, the sides that we are, the sides that we see here, since it is equilateral, since equal, since these are all duplicates. So what I'll do here is this. I'll try shift click drag, and then let's say I will go to my edit mesh, and then I'll try to detach this. If it's not detached, I'll try to go to my mesh and try and separate it. Now it is separated. So this is now a separate object. There. So it is now a separate object. So now all I need to do is just select the others, and then I'll just delete and separate and provide it with polygons later. Okay, so this is just fine. W. I can just go to my reset. Reset the tool. It's going to be at the center. So later on, I can again duplicate. But here, with my current or my new object, I'll just do another reset on the tools. 2 for edges. So as you can observe, I have not done anything so far unfamiliar. This means that all of the commands that you have learned or all of the tools that you have used during your base mesh modeling, character modeling, they are all applicable here. Now W or enter. So it is actually the culmination of that. Now I can double click this and then I can try to bevel it to split them 0.1 or 0.05. That will be fine with me. And then enter W for move tool. So now I have these insertions. I can just go back to my polygon selection. Let's just say these, shift click drag. I'll drag this R and then I'll just scale it. W. There it is. So from here, let's add some more details. That will be enough for now. Okay, so the next thing is I'll just do this. I will select this and then I can what I'll do is I'll just select that and then I will just go to my edges, for example, and then I'll just select this. Do I connect one connection? Will be fine. W for move tool. Another connection. Enter and W for move tool. Polygon selection. Here, let's just delete this once more. Let's just delete the rest once more. And then we have these. Okay, so from here, you can just do the same thing again. Edit, duplicate special. I'm sorry. Before I do the duplicate special, I will cover this first. So it's just the outer sides, not the insides. So this edge, edge, and then bridge. Edge, edge, and then bridge. And then W, edge, edge, bridge, W. And then last but not the least, this one and this one, bridge. Okay, so now that we have those done, now we can proceed with duplicate special. Edit, duplicate special, and then I just apply that, and then I just go negative, positive, apply, and then negative, and then negative, apply. So there, select all of it. Then we go mesh combine. Okay, with the mesh combine done. So vertices, select. Let's just go to edit mesh and merge. Select again, edit mesh, merge. Oh. Okay, so double checking. All is close. Edges, control backspace, double click, control backspace. There we have it. And then I will just position this here. So how do you position that precisely? Right? So I'll just first do a clone copy. I'll select the two of them, or sorry, I can just do another clone copy and another there. So let's say I will just position this precisely just by pressing D and then turning on that snap, and then setting the snap onto a corner vertex, pressing D, and then just dragging it there onto that corner. Oops, sorry. Let me just turn that off for now. Let's say this there. Sorry for that. Oops. Turning on snap there. W E, turning it off. So turn on my tool snaps for the rotate, relative, spacebar, focus on that. E, rotating it. Okay, so oops, sorry. There. Okay, so D, on with the snap, vertex snap, D, W for move, and snap is back. Doing the same, D, relocate, handle, D, and then let's just snap. There. Oops, here. D, there. Oops, what happened here? Why is this been resized? Right? It's been resized. So I'll just delete it. Let's just delete it. What do we replace it with? Okay, let's just change the design. So let's just turn off the snap. Let's change the design for now. Okay, I'll delete this and then this, because what I'll do now instead is I'll just use the bridge. So bridge, W, and then I go bridge, W, and then they go bridge. That's it. W. So there. Let's say here, do the same. Delete, delete, delete. So let's just go bridge. Bridge. Okay, so I'll just, let's say here, I can just shift click drag that directly, or let's just scale it a bit there. So that's it for us on this. So let's say this is our design for this panel. Okay, so on our next lesson, let's discuss a little or an introduction to hard surface modeling or the use of your support loops. I'll see you on that lesson.